Well, hello there. We're going to be starting in just a few moments. Now, the stream will be doing, unfortunately, slightly different times than usual. Usually I start at about 5:15. I've got up even earlier than usual to do it a little bit earlier today because due to Japan's now on a sort of recommended isolation from people and things with the coronavirus and what have you, so I'm having to go to work earlier than usual. So today the stream's just going to run from 5 to 6, I'm afraid, because I have to go to work earlier to avoid people. It will be just a slight change because of that. We're going to be doing the MSX2 hopefully today, so I'll be doing an hour of MSX2 programming, and then I will finish off whatever's left over in the evening, and hopefully we'll have Yquest ported to the MSX2 by the weekend kind of thing. That's the plan. I hope you're all doing okay out there with whatever state your country's rules are with regards to going out and things, and I hope you're all well and things. Take care of yourselves, Okay, well, let's get on with it and let's try and get some work done this morning. Oh dear, I've left my chat window open. I better close that down, it'll make silly noises. Okay, so here's our code today. Hello Lucas, it's kind of you to join me. So we're going to be doing MSX2 today. I'm going to, well, I'm not actually, I was going to base this on the MSX1 code, but that's not really appropriate. Ironically, I think we're going to be best off with the Sam Coupe code. Maybe? Maybe not. I just need to think this through. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's start from the Sam Coupe code, I think. Yeah. You see, the thing is, the MSX2, it's got a VDP, but it's not tile sprite. So that's why I'm thinking maybe the Sam Coupe, which is also a 16-color bitmap system, might be a better starting point. Now the only problem is that while it's not a tile sprite system, it does we do sort of have to treat it as one. Anyway, we'll do our best. That's all I can say at this point. Okay, so let's have a look. Simple bitmap, MSX2 joystick. Hello there, Quasar. It's kind of you to join me. We're going to be doing some MSX2 today. I'm going to be porting to that system. Okay. Now, so we've got our initialization here. So I just got to look at this code so I remember how it works. It's been a while. Okay, so yeah, right, what we're going to need this code here. This is the header. So screen initialization here. I need all of that. So we'll just put that at the that is C000 maybe. What were we using on the MSX1? Yeah, C000. And if we just put this around here, should do. And then we need the screen initialization code, which is somewhere. Where is it? There it is. We need that. I need that screen initialization code. We don't need that palette. That won't work. Hello Space Paranoid X and hello HH, it's very kind of you to join me. It's actually morning in Japan, but if it's evening for you then good evening. Just trying to do a little bit of Z80 programming on the MSX2 here. Now, I want to have a look at how I did the tiles on Grime, my original Grime Z80 program. Where is it? I've got an old in the back. There it is. Yeah, that's what I want. So I want to just have a look at this because I'm basically going to use the same code. Well, that's not quite true. I sort of will. Okay, let's have a look for this define tiles routine. See, when the video memory of the MSX2, the visible screen, no, they're quite different, Lucas. I mean, basically the operating system's the same, and the things like the keyboard are the same, but the graphics chip is very, very different. Basically, it works as a 256 wide and a 1024 pixel tall screen, but obviously only 192 lines of that are visible and the rest are used for holding sprites and things, and you copy the sprites from the invisible part to the visible part. That's the way it works. So what I'm looking for now is how I copied the tiles originally. Now I'm just you got to kind of lay things. I'm waving my hands around. The camera's not on. You got to wave things around. You've got to put the data in a way that's going to be organized for a 256 pixel widescreen, even if it's just data that you're going to use for sprites later on. That's why I've got to figure out how I did things originally, because I probably did a reasonable job of it, I would have thought. MSX VDP memory, maybe? Oh, where is it? It's not there. Search, find in files, define tiles. Okay, so I'm going to search here all the MSX assembly files and we'll figure out where the code. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this code here is designed to copy an image from RAM to VRAM in 8x8 chunks, effectively creating them as if they were tiles, which is what we need for my little game, because my game uses 8x8 sprites. So this is going to deal with all the problems for us, because I mean, basically it's probably hard for me to explain, but the font is 256 pixels wide, as it is in my sprite editor, but my frames of animation are just 8 pixels wide. So they won't. If we just sort of direct memory copied them to video RAM, it would all mess it. They'd all get all garbled up. You know, the lines would become all separated as we wrote them in a linear form into VRAM. So we need to transfer them. Need to transfer them in 8x8 chunks, and I think this is going to do what we need here. I think it is. Maybe it will. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll give it a go. Okay. Now the only thing with this, no, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I was just wondering about the font, but I think we'll be okay with the font as well. Okay. So define tiles, and where's our, you'll notice I'm wherever possible copying code from the Grime code here, just because you know, you need to try and make, I need to try and make things as easy for myself as possible, just to just to avoid any horrendous debugging problems. You know, say I'm only going to be doing an hour today, and you know, if there's problems with my programming, you know, an hour could just disappear with no progress at all. So, you know, wherever possible, and also just to try and maintain my sanity, kind of thing. You know, if we've got code that will do okay as a starting point, then you know, we'll reuse any code we got. Thank you very much. So okay, so here we've got this is the tile number we want to start from. This time we want to start from 0 because I'm going to define a font as well. And it says it's 512 lines down because the first 256 lines are the visible screen. The second 256 lines, if we were page flipping, would be the second screen, and then the rest is our RAM for sprites, basically. So that's why it's describing it as, but we're not 32 down anymore. Okay. And now I need the name of my tile, my bitmap data, which is it's just bitmap data. Okay, well that's pretty easy. Are they in the right format? Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Okay, but what won't be in the right format is this code here. Let's have a look. MSX2 joystick. Probably going to need these in a moment. Where is our show sprite? Draw both. Here we go. Look at all that code. What a mess. What a mess that is. Okay. Dear God. Okay. Okay, well, we're going to need all of this, I think. So let's copy all of this over. This is the code that, with the MSX2 VDP, it's essentially a coprocessor. So we're sending instructions saying telling it to do things like copy sprite from this pixel position to this pixel position, fill this area of the screen with zeros, things like that. And so we have to send data to the VDP, and that's what we're doing here. We're pushing data. In this case, we're popping it off the stack and we're sending it to the VDP, and all of these pushes are transferring bytes which will become the command, and there's the command byte. So that's it's very complex, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. I've done a tutorial on all of the graphics commands of the MSX2 VDP if you are interested and want to see more. So yeah, but unfortunately there's nothing you can do about it. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. It's I mean, it's understandable. It's a little bit complex. My only criticism, potentially, of the MSX2 VDP is that it's not very fast. You know, so quite a lot of work to get stuff on the screen, and it's I really struggled to get the MSX2 version of Chibi Akima's to be as fast as the CPC version. I had to do a lot of dirty tricks and things to get it working. So yeah, if you know, with the V9K, you know, it's very, very fast, pretty much unrivaled in 8-bit. So, you know, for a system like that, yeah, you don't mind. But when with the MSX2 graphics, yeah, it's not really any better than the Sam Coupe, and the Sam Coupe is a lot easier to work with. But I mean, I say it's just the way it is. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's just slightly annoying, and especially when you're used to other systems where you don't have to use these huge commands. but as I say, it's just the nature of things for this system. Okay, so this code here needs to be replaced. I think we're going to need pushes all over the place here. I can't remember what other ones we're relying on not changing. Let's give you. Does it even compile? No, it does not. Does not compile. It's saying raw bitmap does not exist. Okay, yeah. What's it? It's got a slightly different name. Bitmap data, maybe. Bitmap data. Bitmap data and bitmap data end. Still saying illegal reallocation. I don't understand. What's it mean, illegal relocation? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. It's just, there's no underscore. Oh, just pressing the red key there. So yeah, it's just there's an underscore here, so the name's on. Okay. Right. I don't know. You missed what happened there. It crashed basically. Hello there. Oh, how do I pronounce that? Lord Yquest. Hello there. Anyway, Lord. Hope you're having fun. We're trying to program MSX today. Not very well because I'm tired, but we'll get there in the end. I got it, did I? Okay. Yquest. You're just creating these weird names to challenge me. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, we're not working right yet, but that's okay. We'll get there in the end. Now, what I'll do first, if I change my code here, if I change this to 0 and then run my code here, doesn't seem to have worked. Not sure why. Let's put a DI halt in just to stop things so we can see what's going on. That's not worked at all. Hello there, Mark. Kind of you to join me. We're going to only be doing a shorter stream today of just 1 hour until 6 because of the coronavirus. I'm having to go to work earlier so I can avoid people. We've got to keep our social distance, and I've got to set up laptops with VPN for people. So I will have to go in earlier. So apologise for that. I'll probably have to reschedule the stream for a different time next week, maybe. I don't know when yet. I don't want to get up any earlier than this, so maybe we'll do it in the evenings or maybe on a Sunday morning or something. I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought it through. But as I say, unfortunately, because of the because of everything that's going on. I've had to change my work hours slightly. Okay. No, it's 5 a.m. now. I'll be leaving for work at 6. But I got up at 4:30 this morning, but I can't do the live stream any earlier than this because, as you say, it'll just get ridiculous. So I might have to do it on a Sunday, or maybe I'll do it in the evenings. So evenings Japan time, or something. I don't know. I'll say I need to think it through, but at the moment everything's just messed up. No one. We've just had to sort of figure things out. I'm quite annoyed though because I've been off work for 2 days, working from home, and in the 2 days I've had someone come to my door trying to sell me milk, and someone coming to the door trying to teach my kids English, and it's like there's been an emergency on for the last 2 days. You're supposed to be social distancing while you're coming to my door for nonsense like this, so I'm not very impressed with that. But yeah, I'm taking my evening walk at 8 o'clock and I'm avoiding people to try and keep distance, and then people are coming to my door trying to sell me rubbish. So it seems it's a bit off, if you ask me. I know they got jobs to do, and I respect that, but that's the opposite. Coming to people's doors is the opposite of social distancing, isn't it, really? So yeah. Anyway, I will stop ranting. I might rant more tomorrow when I'm playing. I probably will rant more when I'm playing games tomorrow. But today we'll try and focus on our programming. Now, why is this define tiles routine writing all of the tiles to position 0? That's not right. It's not right at all. Sell them T-shirts. I'll give them a shouting at in English. Well, I mean, ironically, I don't think that many people come normally. I think they've actually increased their marketing because of the outbreak, which is like, as I say, if they were going around the streets with a megaphone, I'd say fair enough. But coming to people's doors is like, well, it's not what's supposed to be going on at the moment, is it? Excuse me, I'm just struggling to read my own code here. Why is this not working? Kind of looks okay. It's not working. It's putting all the tiles to the same position, which would imply DE isn't correct. Yeah, I know why. It's because we're working from ROM. Yeah, okay. It's because this was designed to run from RAM and it's not anymore. It's running from ROM. Yes, that's why. Okay. So what command are we using here? We can fix this. It's an HMMC. So just copy that, put that in my notepad here. Just keeping a notepad off screen just for little notes, things I'm working on. I don't know, Lucas. I mean, you're talking about the OS. I don't use the OS. I go direct to hardware. I think the thing's probably going to be is why would you want a buffer for joystick input? Because you know, if someone types hello on the keyboard and you don't process the first key in time, if you missed it and so it sort of just saw hello, it wouldn't make any sense. Whereas with the joystick, if you're playing a game, you're likely to be polling the joystick continuously, and if for some reason you weren't and you missed a bunch of button presses, you possibly don't want them processing anymore. Like if you got a game that was firing and you held down fire for a second, but the game was running slow and didn't process any of the input, and then you released it, if you then process those fires later, the player would be firing when the game player would be firing when the human player wasn't holding the fire button down anymore. But as I say, I mean, I've said before, I'd recommend you just go straight to the hardware and ignore the operating system. I don't think it's a rock and a hard place. You're either going to have to read all of the manuals for the operating system and so that you understand what it's doing, or you're going to have to read all the manuals for the hardware and work out what that's doing. You're still going to have to work out what something's doing. The thing with the hardware is the hardware only does... the hardware won't artificially alter any of your registers or any of your memory, whereas the operating system, if you're using the operating system, then you have to start worrying about making sure you're not changing any of the operating system memory and making sure that you know what the operating system is going to do to your registers and things like that. Because if you don't, then your code's not going to work right. You'll be debugging your own code, wondering what's gone wrong, and what's gone wrong will be that you didn't realise that the operating system used a shadow register, or left some value on the stack, or wrote a byte of memory to D000, which was being used by your game or something like that. You'll have those kind of problems. Whereas, as I say, if you go direct to the hardware, all you need to do is worry about, how do I actually talk to this hardware? The hardware can't change your registers. The hardware doesn't change your memory. So, as I say, that's why I generally recommend people. That's why I recommend people try and use the hardware rather than the operating system, because even if in some cases in the short term it can make things a little harder in that you have to read a manual on the keyboard rather than just call a keyboard function. But as I say, in the long term, as your game gets bigger and you start to want to claw back every byte you can possibly get your hands on, then sorry, just a moment, I've just got to concentrate on this. Oh, look how complex this is. Okay. So when you worry about scraping every byte of memory you can get back from the machine as your game gets bigger, all those bytes of the operating system memory are going to start to look very very valuable, and if you're using the firmware you won't be able to use them. Yeah. Okay, so we need to define, we've got to push these on in the right order. Well, no, we don't. No, the function's going to do that for us. So we need y to be the y pos. Can we do that? Can we? I think we can do that. We'll find out in a moment. I'm forgetting which commands exist and which don't. AF load C, A Okay. Maybe that's right. Maybe it's not. Let's find out. So, yeah, maybe. So what I've had to do there is okay. Sort of, no, sort of, but not. It's not what was supposed to happen. Where's my font for starters? Bit bewildered by that. I mean, it's copied sprites, but they're all garbled up. Okay, hang on a minute. We possibly need to do more pushes here. Let's do a push, a push. My keyboard's obviously in the wrong position here. Okay. I don't know if you saw that. You probably didn't see that, but before that ran as well, the font did draw to screen, but it got immediately overwritten. So it did actually draw the font as well to the same positions. So there's obviously something seriously going going out of whack there. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. Hang on a minute. So we're using DE here. DE is our destination tile number, so DE is probably getting messed up somewhere. Have a look at this and see if it's doing anything weird. I can't immediately think what's going wrong here. I'll figure it out. It's just going to take some time. So we're calculating the position, the X position from these bits here, and that's based on E, and then we're calculating, then we're taking the 3 remaining bits and we're rotating right with D, and that's calculating the Y position here. Then we're waiting, we're getting the first color pixel, and then we're doing this this transfer from RAM to VRAM here, and then are we popping in the right order here? HL, HL, BC, BC, DE, DE, IX, IX, IY, IY. Let's just try taking off this ink DE here. That should mean all of the tiles draw to the same position. Yeah, they did. Okay, so this could be a carry issue or something. Put an array in there to clear the carry. Maybe it's a carry problem. No, that doesn't make any difference. Hello there, Polter. Very kind of you to join me. I'm currently failing to get my code working, my tile code editor working. I don't know why. but I'll figure it out given enough time. I'm possibly not going to have very much today. I've only got, unfortunately, my work hours have been changed due to the coronavirus problem, you know, so I'm going to be leaving earlier than usual. Usually this is a 2-hour stream. It'll just be a single hour today, so I'll be finishing at 6. I'll be finishing the code in the evening though, so one way or another we'll get a finished game by the end of the day, assuming I'm not writing terrible code. Hopefully we'll get it fixed though. So, okay, anyway, so our X position is these bits here. Now our X position does seem to be working, I think. Yeah, we got these going along the screen here, but our Y position seems to be completely messed up, unfortunately, which is a shame. And I'm not sure why. Honestly, I'm not sure why. So D here is being used for part of our Y position. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I'm just trying to think if trying to think what the problem could be. I mean, it could. Let's just try an experiment here. Now, originally this code was transferring to tile number 128. So let's try changing it back to 128 and just see if there's a bug in the code that's meaning that it only works from tile 128 onwards. Okay, that didn't make any difference. Didn't make any difference at all. Well, I don't think it did. It certainly isn't working anyway. Okay, it was worth a try. Okay. Why is it going wrong every fourth? Why is it going wrong every fourth tile? That's my initial question. Because these are working. These aren't working in fours. Right. Can't see what the problem is, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pain. Okay. Right, well, let's try remming out some code and see what happens. This is calculating the X position of the new tile based on the width. So if I remove one of these, it's going to basically halve it and they'll overlap. And we'll just see. Okay, so they're now. So they're overlapping here, you can see, but let's just do that again. Part of this code is clear. There's something wrong with part of the code, obviously, and I'm just trying to work out which part is malfunctioning here. Okay, let's try this part. Huh. I'm not sure. Not sure what the problem is. Let's just have a quick look at my original code, mate. I think maybe there's something I'm missing here. Because here we're just using A. We're not using D at all. Feels like we should be using D. I don't think that's what's causing the problem, but it should. No, didn't make any difference at all. Oh dear, I don't know what to do. Unfortunately, this is yeah, this is what programming these systems is like sometimes. And I've got code I'm already using. It's just it's not working right, and I don't know why. So yeah. So we're going to just have to persevere on it. Okay, well let's try something else then. Let's load A with 0 here and see if there's something else messing up our Y position other than this code. Okay, no, there's not. That worked. They're all on the same line now, so that's correct. That's what we want. Okay. In that case, D must be wrong. It must be shifting in bits. D must have a value. D should be going from 0 to 250. Well, to about 192, something like that. Because D is our type. Well, actually, no. D should be always 0 in this case, anyway. Because our tile number is only going up to 192 and it's a 16-bit pair, so D should always be 0. Hang on a minute, let's do L. Nothing happened at all. I kind of didn't expect that. Hang on a minute. Oh, hang on a minute. I can see the. Yeah, I see the problem. Yeah, that should be. There should be a load of A. That's what the problem is. I think. No, nothing's happening at all. Oh, okay, it's because yeah, okay. There we go, we got it. That's what it was supposed to do. So that's loading each of the tiles from ROM, from our cartridge, and it's transferring them to an 8x8 aligned position in VRAM. Now at the moment we're loading them to the visible screen, but we don't want to actually do that. What we want to do is load them to the hidden area of the screen, which we'll get by setting this to 2. So that's going to be position 512 onwards basically. Okay, we got there in the end. It was just a line of code that got missed. It got lost somehow. Okay, so took a while to figure out. Okay, so we're loading now off screen, so we won't see those this time, but they will still be there somewhere. Okay, and then what we need to do next, if I have a look at my previous example here. Okay, we've got player reset, player draw player, where is it? And okay, this is what we need to do this time. Yeah, this is what we need. Okay. I think I've already transferred that. So let's just take the DI halt out. I'll put a DI halt in at the point that's playing up just to see what's happening. So I'll take that out and let's see what happens this time. It's probably going to crash. It did crash. Okay, well that's good to know. Okay, well, we've got a get sprite address command here. We don't want a get sprite address command. There are no sprite addresses. Okay, so let's take those out. And let's have a look at show sprite here. What we will do, however, is we will just put a DI halt in here, because we've not done anything with our joystick control yet, because we need to change the joystick routine for the MSX, obviously, because otherwise we'll be using the Sam Coupe joystick code, which, you know, is not going to work, obviously. Okay, so those blocks being drawn to the screen are the code that's supposed to be doing our title screen malfunctioning. So that's what we need to look at next. So here we go. Show sprite B, where's that? Here it is. Okay. Yeah, well, let's take out references to the Sam Coupe for starters, because that's nonsense. Okay, so here's our tile number. We're loading that with 256 because that's what we were using as our example before. Now what we want to do this time is use the same code as we just worked on for the calculation of tile numbers when we were defining them. We can use the same code here. So this code here is what we want. Okay. So if we take this here and we sort out the tabbing a little bit. So here this time what we want to do is get my brain in gear for a second, sorry about it, I was just trying to think things through. Okay, so here when this runs we've got the accumulator containing the sprite number. So we can just take out this here. Well actually we'll do it the other way. Load E with A, that's just to back it up. Load D with 0. Okay. And we just need to, we do need to do pop HL, pop DE, pop IX, pop IY, because we need all of these registers, otherwise our code is going to go absolutely crazy. And we'll put just here push IY, push IX, push DE, push HL. We're not doing BC because BC is already done, and I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay with the accumulator getting changed. I'm now getting a jump out of range for in line 328 because that code's now too long, so let's change that to a jump. Okay, how are we doing? The undocumented split IXIY. I mean, they are kind of documented in the later versions of the Z80 manuals, but I try and avoid using them because the Game Boy doesn't have them, and also on the Spectrum firmware uses IY, and the TIE 83 firmware uses IX, I think it is. So I try and avoid using them for the multi-platform code, but for the platform-specific code, I will use them as required. So that's not worked anyway. We've got much weirdness going on there. But yeah, as I say, they are. I definitely recommend using them if you can. This is a ROM-based system, so I can't use temporary variables or self-modifying code. So yeah, I do use them quite a bit on systems like this. hang on a minute, this is I've messed up something chronic. Okay, hang on a minute. Yeah, let me just I've got confused. Okay, I've done this totally wrong. We can fix it though. We'll get it sorted. Let's just tab indent that. I'm getting my code mixed up. We need it's the X and Y source. Okay, so they are IX and IY, and the destination are in H and DE. Okay, so me messing with DE is not going to go very well then. Okay, so if I just do a push DE here, I'll probably clean this up later. And that line needs to go, and then do a pop DE here. And actually, I think it's going to be okay. I think that's okay. It's just that line that's a problem. Okay, strange stuff going on there. Now, what the problem there will be is all of these rotation commands. This was designed to simulate an 8x8 tile grid, but the Sam Coupe code is actually working as a pixel-based screen, which is why I chose to base this on the Sam Coupe version rather than the MSX1 version. There we go. There we go. We've got our Yquest logo. It's just using the characters rather than the sprites. We can fix that. That's no problem at all. Okay, we're getting there. We're doing okay. So if I just all I need to do is add 96. Sorry. The reason for that is that the first 96 symbols in our bitmap memory are the font. So the first graphics sprite is 96 tiles or sprites or whatever you want to call them, because they're kind of neat. I'm simulating tiles. Okay, maybe that should have been 95. Wonder what happened there. Oh, it's getting there. Okay, I'm doing something silly, obviously. It happens. It does happen. Okay, I've put it in the wrong place. We're checking. Sorry, we're checking there to see if if the data needs to be drawn to the screen, and if it doesn't, then we need to add 96 here. It's getting difficult, Mark, remembering with the systems, because I'm doing too many of them, and everything starts to kind of blend. There we go. I think that's what it's supposed to look like. The colours are wrong, but generally speaking, that's what it should look like, I think. Okay. We can fix the colours later. I'm adding Sprite Editor. I'm adding functions to each of the systems now to do native format colours. Might have already done it actually. Let's have a look. Let's see. Do I have any colour code for this machine? Possibly not. Possibly not. I don't think I do. Okay, well we'll worry about that later then. For now, let's take that disable halt out, and let's just had a cough there. Okay, so take these out, and wait for fire routine. Let's have a look at that. Well, that's going to cause trouble, so let's get rid of that. Let's check there's no others as well, just in case. Maybe might be the only one. That's platform specific code. We're actually doing it. I don't tend to use operating system calls in my tutorials. I don't like doing it. However, for the simple series, I did bend my rule and I did whatever was the quickest way of getting the job done. And so in the case of this tutorial, Yquest was designed to be a proof of concept, saying, okay, the simple series joystick routine example looks very, very simple, but you could take it and build your own little game on it. So because of that, I was using the same code to read the joystick as the simple series rather than my preference, which is to go direct to hardware. Well, it's working. It's all character letters. It's full of characters, but as I say, we can fix that. That's quite funny. I quite like that. Okay. Okay, how do we fix that? I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. That's the problem. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at my code here. I think if we take this and we go to show. I can't remember how my own code works here. It's quite annoying. Okay, hang on a minute. Print char B jumps to show sprite B. Get sprite address. We don't need get sprite address. There's no such thing in this case. Well, is there? Hang on a minute. Okay, we do need to get sprite address. That's annoying. Let's just have a look at the original SAM version. Well, actually, let's look at the MSX1 version. Yeah, part of the problem is, it's not just about getting the MSX2 version to work. It's also about making sure we're going to have to finish in a moment, I'm afraid. It's also about making sure that the code is as consistent across all the versions as possible. Firstly, because it causes fewer problems later on, but mainly in this case because this is a tutorial series. So we want to make sure that our code is as consistent as possible when it comes to someone looking at it and trying to learn from it. Okay. I think we're about to be rudely interrupted by my mobile phone here. Yeah, there we go. So our sprites are now working. The animation frames aren't, but we can worry about that in a moment. Okay, so I just need to put in this code back in here. There we go. So that's what we're going to get. That's I'm afraid all we're going to have for this live stream. There's obviously a lot more work to do on that. I'll see what mood I'm in. I might do an impromptu live stream this evening and do another hour or two on it, or maybe I'll just do it off camera if I don't want to embarrass myself in public. We'll just have to see. As I say, I apologise this stream's a bit shorter than usual, but needs must, because as I say, my work hours have unexpectedly changed this week thanks to the government emergency. So I hope you're all doing well okay out there. I hope you're not I hope you're not clawing at the walls or going crazy with being stuck in the house. Hope you're trying to get some exercise as much as your countries allow you to. And I hope you just have fun and don't get too stressed out with all the stressful things going on. I really appreciate everyone watching. The MSX2 version, assuming I get it working, will be in the sources 7-zip of my on my Z80 website by Monday, and at some point in the future there'll be I'm already started the tutorials on how this code works, the general code, and there'll be an MSX2 version discussing just the MSX2 code at some point in the future. But anyway, if we just show the thanks for watching screen. Anyway, thanks for watching today. I hope you have a great day. Take care now. Goodbye.